Running low on disk space. Oh, shit. Where is it that the,
Desktop.
fuck.
That one. Yeah, right there. That's shut down for
Look
it.
right there?
No, right here.
Oh, snap. Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods. I got a notification on my setup here that I was actually low on memory. What this thing actually does is records the whole show. So by the time you get 5 or 6 shows on here, all of a sudden you got a whole lot. So I want to start the show off with a little clip here to get us caught up.
Trying to give constant feedback of, hey, in that coverage, when we get this coverage, I know that the progression starts here, but you can move through it fairly quickly because unless they mess it up, you're not going to get that throw. That kind of stuff just from playing the game and the experience of it. But, we're not going to come in here and try to revamp people and do all this stuff, and you don't need to with him. I've said this already. I feel like, I had a chance to play with Warren Moon in my second and third years, and I feel like he throws the ball very similar to Warren. And it's one of the tightest spirals you ever see. And so, it's really just about him giving feedback of, okay, these are little things I need to work on, and us finding the right drills to work on those things day in and day out.
Coach, how much flexibility does Randall Cobb offer you?
A lot. I mean, he's smart enough to play every position, so we'll keep him at one position but use multiple formations to put him outside, inside left, in the backfield. We can put him anywhere because he is that guy. He's smart. Not a surprise because we loved his film, but John Vay, the last 2 days, his speed and athleticism and how smooth he is has shown up here almost a little bit earlier than we thought it would because we think he's going to process. Most young guys are thinking a lot. He's done a good job of learning his plays and coming out here and showing what he can do. But not a surprise in terms of what we saw on tape. That's why we brought him in here.
What was it like to be at left tackle today?
It was interesting. Those were my first left tackle reps since Texas, so it was different. I haven't been in it. Kind of felt like riding a bike.
Does it come back quick? Or
Yeah, it came back pretty quick.
Robert take it easy on you or no?
No, I don't think so.
So you don't have, like you said, you don't go through that because the footwork and the technique's a little different. You don't have to stop and think about it. It's just you did it for so long, it comes right back or something.
Yeah, but obviously it's a different offense. But I think it's clear at this level you have to be ready to play whatever position they need you at.
All you really can do in the off season is just keep working. There's a lot of people think that teams just build off previous success, and that's really not how it works. So, we had to start at square one just like we have every other year. We had a great turnout in the off-season program with guys being in here working out together. So all that stuff that you can kind of control and building that foundation and building that team chemistry, we've done that. So now we just have to, keep stacking good days, and ultimately when we get into the season, we just have to perform well.
We were so young. A lot of us never, our first year we didn't go to the playoffs. So, seeing how long the season is and, what we have to do and seeing what exactly needs to be done to get that far in the playoffs, man. Of course we're going to get better. I mean, with experience comes that, just understanding that it's going to be long days and you got to grind through it. So I believe that we're getting prepared for that.
Do you feel like you guys improved yourself this offseason?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got some new guys, and we got some guys that were still on the team that, that understand that it's time to get better, man, and it's time to, elevate that game and just try to get some more wins.
I just try.
All righty. So here we are with our team having finished OTAs and are ready to rock and roll. So some of the quick notes from that situation. Connor Williams. Here's the great thing about having veteran days off. In fact, this was one of the reasons why Dak Prescott was able to get as much work in as he did, is because they have these veteran days off. So while Tyron Smith is out, you've been able to plug and play Connor Williams to try and find out where's going to be the best place for him to fit. They tried him at left tackle. He's tried at right tackle. He's at guard. So what they're trying to do is figure out what are the best 5 guys that we have that we can put on the field. And from that point, those are going to be the guys that are going to start. And I think that Connor McGovern, see, here's the thing that happened with Connor Williams. Connor Williams, when he came out, they said they worried about his strength, if he was going to be strong enough coming out of college, that he needed to put some more meat on himself to be able to handle the stuff coming out of college.
Wilson Young, thank you very much for the super chat. From Waikiki, aw, damn, man.
That's nice to be in Hawaii right now. I'd love to be in Hawaii right now. Thank you very much for the super chat. But Connor Williams didn't quite have the strength really as a rookie to really be able to hold up, and then he kind of lost his technique some. You notice actually after he got injured, he kind of got a chance to get himself back together and stuff, and you saw how he played when he went in for Zach Martin at guard for him, and he played lights out. In fact, he saved the game for us against the Eagles. So that's kind of interesting. And you heard Sanjay Lau talking about Randall Cobb. Now, Randall Cobb, I got to tell you, Aaron Rodgers did not want him to go. Aaron Rodgers was going to the mat to try and keep him in there. He did not want him to leave. So in my mind, Aaron Rodgers, the bad man, the man who had like 60 passes out of bounds last year, definitely loved having that guy.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Cowboys Nation 210, thank you very, very, very much for that super chat.
So I think Randall Cobb, as you heard, you heard them talking about him. Randall Cobb can play inside, outside, and all that stuff. And I think he's actually going to be an upgrade from Cole Beasley. Nothing against Cole Beasley. I love Cole Beasley, Mr. Hot Sauce himself. But I think Randall Cobb, if he's healthy, because he had the hamstring issue last year, and we know about dealing with hamstrings, if he's healthy, he's going to give us a lot of flexibility. Then, of course, there's Amari Cooper. And Amari Cooper finally has an offseason with Dak Prescott. If they can take off where they left, oh my goodness, it's going to be something special. So that's where we are with those guys. We have so many studs on offense. I sit here and I look. We have an embarrassment of riches right now on the offensive line. You think about some of these other teams and stuff. I mean, let's think about this now. Some of these guys that we have backups could start on other teams. Cam Fleming is backing up Tyron Smith, who blocked for Brady in a Super Bowl. You got Zach Martin. You got Tyron Smith. You should have Travis Frederick back to where he was.
North Carolina's biggest Cowboy fan, thank you very much for that super chat. Oh, you guys love these super chats, huh? Young Wilson, thank you very much for the super chat.
Well, I don't know if we're Super Bowl bound, but if you listen to the Talking Heads, I'll get to that in a minute, you would think that we are the worst team in the NFL. The worst team in the NFL. It kind of bugs me. And I know, I was sitting here talking to my wife. I said, you have an open letter, like you'll have an op-ed piece, in the paper. I said, what would you call it for if I do a video? She's like, what are you doing? I said, I want to talk about how they are just kind of having the Dallas Cowboys as an afterthought. She's like, what are you talking about? I said, rankings. I said, it's ridiculous that they have the Cleveland Browns, a team over the last 4 years has 12 wins. That they believe they have a better chance of having a better record, of going to the Super Bowl, and are ranked higher than the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm kind of like, she's like, so? So did you win the Super Bowl? I said, what? She said, did you win the Super Bowl? I said, no. She said, well, that's all that matters. I said, no. I said, yeah, shut up. Oh, damn. But I said, no. I said, I said, understand. This is just kind of like where they think you are. I said, I'm just trying to understand how you take a Cleveland Browns that has not had a winning season since 2007.
Do you realize you're going to sell that stadium?
Mike, I'm going to do a mic. Okay.
That's why they're making us so.
I'm just going through this stuff here. Cause wait. Let me see if I can. Because it's not. It's everything. I mean, okay, hold on. Now, this is another one of these things that it's kind of like they do this stuff intentionally. Maybe they're just trying to get underneath my skin. But here it is. They have Rob's top 5 edge rushers. Chandler Jones. Okay. Khalil Mack. Yeah, he's definitely top 5. Von Miller's kind of come back down to earth a little bit, but okay. J.J. Watt. Yeah, he finally got healthy and had one good year last year. And then Ryan Kerrigan. Ryan Kerrigan from the Washington Redskins. And their logic was, well, if he was on a better team, then he would get more publicity. Didn't the Cardinals have the number 1 pick in the draft because they were the worst team in the NFL? I'm just saying that weren't the Cardinals a bad team, but yet Chandler Jones got recognized? Yeah, DMV. Yeah, that's what I'm like. This is just like, let's just make sure we disrespect the Dallas Cowboys as much as possible, okay? Kerrigan over D-Law. Ryan Kerrigan. Okay, now let's do another one. How about the top 25 at 25 and under? Zeke Elliott's not on that list. Zeke Elliott, how is it that the guy who has won 2 of the last 3 rushing championships would have won a 3rd had he not been suspended by the NFL, still leads all running backs over the last 3 years? How is it honestly, how is he honestly not on that list? Can anybody tell me that one? Anybody? North Carolina's biggest fan says, shout out to you, Mike. Twan Eagles. Well, thank you, Twan. See, even an Eagle fan is with me on that one. Okay, so here's another one for us. Power rankings. ESPN. Kansas City, New Orleans Saints, Rams, Patriots. You can't, yeah, okay, that's reasonable. Colts, okay, they were on the upswing. Okay. Chargers, yeah, they won their division. Bears, they won their division. Texans, yeah, they were a playoff team. Falcons at 9. We beat them, right? Okay. Eagles at 10. We beat them twice last year, right? Minnesota. They got Kirk Cousins still as a quarterback, right? Green Bay Packers. And this is the one that really just kind of makes me want to puke. Earlier they had them at 9. The same place they had them last year at 9. We're talking about a team that has Aaron Rodgers, who basically imploded the team, got rid of the coach. They wiped the slate on all their defense. They've had 2 losing seasons back to back. And somehow they figure with all the holes that they have, that they're better than our Cowboys. Okay. Tennessee Titans, okay, they're in the playoffs. I can take Tennessee. Seattle, even though we beat them, okay. Cleveland Browns. I'm telling you, the Cleveland Browns will not be over 500. I know they've got all these great players and stuff, but they got a lot of personalities. A lot of personalities that I don't think are going to go along too well when the chips get down. We've seen Odell Beckham have tirades and tantrums, you know, and he's hardly even showing up to work out. Cleveland hasn't had a winning season since 2007. Steelers, okay. You know, maybe because they got rid of the headaches that things will be better there. Okay. The Ravens, they're a playoff team. Okay. I'm not sold on them. Jacksonville. And then finally, our Dallas Cowboys. Honestly, okay, I'm a homer. I get it. I'm a homer. I love my Dallas Cowboys. I'm always going to think that they're great and everything else. I'm not going to say they're the best team in football just yet. But 19th, we're talking about a team that won 6 of their last 8 games with their offensive line being in flux, with just getting Amari Cooper in the second half of the season. We're talking about a top 10 defense last year that we didn't lose anybody, right? And the pieces that we did lose on offense, you could look and say, we got better, right? We got rid of Scott Linehan. That alone should give us a couple of, increases in. I mean, wouldn't you think? Because it's not like Scott Linehan's even getting a high school job right now. How is it we were one of 12 teams that made the playoffs, one of the final 8 that had a chance to win against the Rams, and we dropped to 19th? Because as we go down through the list, Panthers, okay, they don't even know if they're going to have Cam Newton back. San Francisco, really? Denver? The Raiders? That's where they have us grouped at? I'm not even going to go into, well, you know what? I will go into one. And here's another one. Because it's like every single one of them think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to go in the toilet. So, odds of making it to, of having the best regular season record. Patriots 6-1, Rams 7-1, Saints 7-1, Chiefs 9-1, Colts 10-1, Chargers 10-1. Okay, I could go with those. You know the Patriots are in a cake division, so chances are they'll probably have the best record because again they ain't playing anybody. Eagles 10-1. Okay. Bears 14-1. Packers 14-1. Then they have us with the Browns, the Falcons, Vikings, and the Steelers at 20-1. Okay. Does anybody else find that kind of crazy? I don't know how you can honestly say that you are an objective. If I'm wrong, and I'm sure I've got some Eagle trolls in here, if I'm wrong, tell me that I'm wrong. I didn't say we should be top 5, but you should think that we should be at least in the top half. Wouldn't you think? Miss Jackie's been sharing a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of the stuff I end up getting on here is because Miss Jackie makes sure that I have some great clips and stuff. Let me acknowledge everybody in here. Philly Cowboys 76, Robbie Radford, Eric Barnes, Delton Roberts, Hopefully I said that right. Philly Cowboy 76. Salam, Miss Jackie, of course. Robbie, Dem Boys 85. Tim Stewart, Fred Gonzalez, D'Angelo. Shallow Hal is back. Oh my God. It's been a long time, Shallow Hal. Have you found a pal yet? There's Sal. There's Lyle. Okay, so we are now knee deep in Dak Prescott contract negotiations. Nene, is it Nene or Nine? I don't know how you pronounce that. Here's what's interesting. See, Lord Bronson contacted me a couple of days ago. Said, hey, man, let's go ahead and do a debate and stuff and all that on your channel. So I was like, okay, all right, cool. And he was talking about Chris Long. And Lord knows, I'm old and I'm dyslexic, and sometimes I have brain farts. So I think once or twice in there I said Jake Long, who was an offensive lineman, not Chris Long. So you guys know that I'm a name butcher all the time. And so, boy, they've been riding all that stuff. So he is looking for getting his channel to grow. So he wanted to go ahead and do a debate. I said, well, maybe we can do a debate or something at Lucky's or something or other and all that, because I do stuff with other people and things. So I went ahead and commented on it because I thought he was completely wrong about the Chris Long situation. Because he's kind of like, oh, man, you're just making it harder for everybody else, and it's the worst thing in the world. And it's like, wait a minute, hold on. I look at it differently because he is – if you are trying to change the rules of marijuana, whether you agree with it or not, okay, people are taking a lot of shit to stay in the NFL. Be it human growth hormone, be it PEDs, be it opioids, so that way they can deal with the pain. And believe me, they deal with a lot of pain. And marijuana. So Danny Cannell actually equated marijuana with opioids. And it's kind of like, how many people OD'd on marijuana last year? 0. How many people OD'd on opioids? 47,000 of them. And now they're actually going after these pharmaceutical companies and doctors that are over-prescribing these medications because, people are getting addicted to them just like they do with crack. And there are ways of using marijuana. There's marijuana patches that don't get you high that deal with the pain. I'm actually thinking about trying some of these because Dak's uncle was telling me about these, I forgot what you call them, C something or other T patches that help with pain. They are finding medical uses and things for it, okay? So he had this whole attitude that everybody just going out and hanging out on the streets, just smoking and getting high and everything else. I said, no, wait a minute. I said, Chris Long is a better person to talk about it and bring it to the forefront than, say, David Irving. David Irving, you remember what David Irving and him are trying to do the exact same thing. Who's going to be more credible to mainstream America? David Irving or Chris Long? Because David Irving was dealing with off-field drama, not showing up for work and everything else, and just basically saying, I can just roll out of bed and I'm better than Jason Garrett ever was. I don't have to practice. So you look at this guy and say, you know what? You don't have it right in the head. Why would we want to have everybody in the NFL like you?
Philly Cowboy 76, thank you very much for the super chat.
So my thing was, okay, so here you have Chris Long. Let me make sure I get that right. Chris Long, who has done incredible work in Africa, his charity. He's got another NFL players. They dig wells where villages have no water that's clean. And it's changing the whole narrative and changing these people's lives. When it came to the anthem protests, he was right there with Malcolm Jenkins and stuff, supporting them. Because, see, here's the thing, and I don't want to make this a black-white thing, but the difference is you look at Chris Long, there's a different set of rules than it is for a David Irving. And people look at him differently. They, clean cut, his son of Hall of Fame, his dad is a Hall of Famer, okay? He is Man of the Year, and a stand-up guy. So for him to come out and say, listen, I smoked for 11 years. The testing on it is a joke. We know when the test is. As long as you don't fail that one test, you're not getting tested again. David Irving, unfortunately, didn't find that out. So here's the thing. Whether you agree with it or not, the NFL, if their whole thing is we're going to make sure these guys stay clean, then you're going to test more than once a year. You can't honestly believe that one test a year is going to keep everybody from smoking weed. That's just enough to give the appearance that we are keeping it out. And then when you do catch somebody, you make an example of them. Oh, see how we are? You know, with this guy, we're making sure that we don't have it. And it's rampant through it. I could tell you some stories from back in my days of some people that okay? All right? But I ain't going to tell those stories because I ain't sounding myself out or anybody else because I ain't trying to get myself killed. But in talking to another former player, he said, I said, so tell me about how much weed usage there is in the NFL. He said, think of your highest percentage. He said, then double it. He said, it's done. It's a great way to deal with pain. Relaxes you. And when you start thinking about the head trauma and everything else, and you see some of these guys that get a little bit crazy, you know, that kind of get a little bit violent, maybe smoking some weed to mellow them out might not be a bad thing. I'm just saying. So that was my rebuttal to him. Because I believe in, having debates. Because if we have a debate, it doesn't mean that we have to hate each other or fight. We just have a difference of opinion, and we should be able to talk about it. Because by talking about it, we might actually see the other person's point of view, and somewhere in the middle, we can come up with a compromise. His thing was, well, he's just a snitch. He's just going to make it harder for everybody else now. I was like, no. I think what he's trying to help do is help to change it. Because when you think about some of the other things people are taking, some of these guys are knocked down, drag out, drunk. Are we saying that smoking weed is worse than being an alcoholic? Are we? Now, Danny Cannell basically said it's like taking opioids, so maybe it's about the same thing. He's an idiot. But speaking of idiot, the other thing that's kind of getting to be interesting is it seems like the narrative is changing a little bit about Dak Prescott with the talking heads. What's up, Vosh? How you doing tonight, man? So Danny Cannell,
Cowboys and Dak Prescott.
He's still an idiot.
Big money contracts being talked about out there. Do you think he is deserving to be one of the top paid quarterbacks in the league?
So, Jenny, there's a lot of jealousy within me when I see some of these numbers that are given out to these starting quarterbacks. So the first time I heard Dak Prescott is a $30 million a year quarterback, I was like, you're crazy. You can't do that. But then when I dove into it, you see the numbers that are going around across the league. And if you look at Dak Prescott's first 3 years versus Russell Wilson's first 3 years in the NFL, they're remarkably similar. And no one had any problem with Russell Wilson getting a new extension, $100 million contract. No problem whatsoever. Dak Prescott, higher completion percentage, more yards. He's right around the same touchdown to interception ratio. The only thing he's missing is the Super Bowl and getting his team there, which is a big deal. But as far as production on the field, Dak Prescott's been great. So I've looked at this, I think that the Cowboys should give him, I would probably try to negotiate him in that $26, $27 million range so that you can supply him with some talent around him. But as far as paying him this big number, he's absolutely worth it. And what else are you going to do at the quarterback position? You've got a guy that you like. He's got the intangibles. He's a good leader. He's shown promise his first 3 years. You're going to commit to him.
We'll take 30 mil up here, right?
We'll split it.
Yeah.
Right?
And see, and he actually, thank you, Miss Jackie, he ended up kind of giving you maybe a window into one of the things that's kind of going on. He said flat out, when I start hearing these numbers, I kind of get jealous. Yeah, because you're sitting there thinking about this guy's getting $30 million. What about me? I was a pro. And some of this, and David Carr, I think, is another one. David Carr is definitely one of those ones that have it in for Dak. Even, he's always touting his brother, but when it comes to Dak, he's a dink and dunker and yada, yada, yada. So we're beginning to see things change as far as Dak Prescott. More and more people are saying, yeah, maybe he is a little bit better than what we thought he was. He is kind of a decent quarterback. I look at it and say, earlier Miss Jackie gave me another video. They equated Jared Goff with Dak Prescott. And what was interesting about it was they said, listen, you got Sean McVay versus Jason Garrett. Would Jared Goff be Jared Goff if he was playing under Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan? Real talk. And if Dak was with Sean McVay, that is a true statement. Because, a lot of times you wonder if the quarterbacks that get drafted that are highly rated, if they're really just a bust or if it's a situation they go into. Because we've seen over and over and over again how many times quarterbacks have just been messed up in Washington. Damn it, E2. I still can't get over this cold. In Cleveland. And you can't tell me that every single quarterback, up until this year has been a bust for Cleveland. Maybe it's something in the water or something with Cleveland in the situation. You have to wonder if Joe Montana would have been Joe Montana had he been someplace else other than San Francisco with Walsh. And when you look at the Cowboys coaching quarterbacks, Tony Romo had what he started with when Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan got here. Tony Romo was already set as the quarterback he was. Dak, they didn't have enough time to mess up the first season because basically it was the perfect storm, so to speak. We got lucky as shit. Excuse my language, I don't mean to cuss. But let's honestly admit something. If the Cowboys had had their way and could have made that trade, we could have had Paxton Lynch. Let me say that again. We could have had Paxton Lynch after Tony Romo got hurt. Could you imagine where we would be right now had that move happened? And I'm going to tell you another thing that we were actually blessed about happening. And I don't mean this because it's going to sound cruel. But we were fortunate that Kellen Moore broke his ankle that first week of training camp. And I don't wish somebody to get hurt. But what that enabled to happen was Dak Prescott to get those second-team reps. And those days that Tony Romo was off, he got those first-team reps. And in the preseason games, he was playing all those because Tony Romo wasn't playing. Imagine if Tony Romo got hurt that last, week before the season, and then Kellen Moore hadn't got hurt. Because Kellen Moore would have gotten all those reps. And then Tony Romo goes down the last preseason game. Then Kellen Moore goes out. And then we find out Kellen Moore is not the guy. So he's playing, half the season, whatever. Then they turn to Dak, who only had one rep in OTAs in practice. And he wouldn't have had the amount of time that he had in training camp. In which case, he would have been down the toilet because he'd been a rookie with no reps going in on a losing team. Then we would have been looking for another quarterback. It was kind of like the perfect storm that happened, that we didn't get the guys that we were trying to get at quarterback. And it was kind of like, well, we'll just take Dak and we'll take him. He'll be able to be on the bench and, until we can get somebody else. We got lucky. Sometimes in football, it's better to be lucky than good because that changed the narrative on the Dallas Cowboys. So count your blessings, Cowboys family. I've never said he's perfect, but I tell you what, he's got a lot of good with him. And he's only in his 4th year starting this year, which is the year that most quarterbacks take a leap. So the big question on NFL Network today was, will Dak Prescott be able to get 30 touchdowns this year, passing? Thoughts? Anyone? Think my quarterback will be able to get 30 touchdown passes? In my mind, I think a couple things are going to happen. Having Randall Cobb, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup. That's 3 really good receivers, provided Randall Cobb is in good shape. Kellen Moore, I think, is going to open up the offense quite a bit more. Because if they can go ahead and start getting a few deep passes in there, what that's going to do is it's going to loosen up the defenses. And you think about where we were the second half of the season. Dak threw 12 touchdowns, 3 interceptions the last 8 games. I had a discussion last night with West Coast and Boss Cowboy. And I was talking about part of the problem with the Dallas Cowboys. And you can go through the Rams. The Rams basically said, we knew as soon as they lined up what the Cowboys were running, because they don't change anything. They don't hide. They didn't disguise anything. And you knew down in distance exactly what they were going to do. Everybody's been saying that I could call it from my living room what they were going to do, which would slow things down. I try to use 12 personnel. When you say 12 personnel, that's 2 tight ends. When you say 11 personnel, that's 1 tight end. The Dallas Cowboys' DNA is to slow down the game, because Boss Cowboy was saying, you know, Amari Cooper didn't get as many snaps as a lot of these other wide receivers. It's because we run the football. When you run the football, you stay in bounds more. The clock keeps running. The game is actually shorter. There are less series, less plays. Sometimes we only had like 60, 65 plays in a game. Whereas you look at like the Steelers when they're, Steelers in Kansas City, those games, they're getting 80 and 90 plays because incomplete pass or pass completion is out of bounds. You're only taking off 6, 7 seconds. Boom. And there's a lot more plays that are able to be run. But because we run the offense the way we do, we don't get that many opportunities. It slows the whole pace of the game down, which is a good thing. But if we can take our DNA, which is running the football, and I was using 12 personnel because for me, being old school, I love to run the football, but you can put the safety as the key. With Jason Witten, they say he hasn't slowed down any. We know he's got sure hands. Blake Jarwin has become a better threat, at least he did against the Giants. Can catch the ball. You got 5 great offensive linemen. You've got those 2. So you can have 7 blockers right there. 1 running back. If the safety comes in, you got 2 fast wide receivers. You can pass out of that formation. You've got your tight ends that can catch. So you eat them up with play action. Or, if the safety stays out, you just run the damn ball. Or, you roll Dak Prescott out and do a run-pass option. So it's so many things that you can do with what used to look like solely as a running formation. And that was the biggest problem with the Dallas Cowboys offense was we were always running the football, and we always looked like we were running the football, which made it that much harder. The fact that we were actually able to run was amazing. Now, here's what's kind of lost when you start thinking about this, because we're always told that Dak Prescott, if it wasn't for Zeke Elliott and him handing off the football, we wouldn't do anything. It's funny. New England ran for more yards than the Dallas Cowboys. And it's funny because the last 8 games of the season, Tom Brady and Dak Prescott's numbers identical. 12 TDs, 3 touchdowns, about 2,100 yards each. The only difference was Dak had a 102 QBR, Tom Brady had a 93. See, everybody thinks that the Dallas Cowboys are, it's just run. No, we're actually just on the top 10. just on the top 10, even with Zeke Elliott. It's just that Zeke's the only one really running the football. But there's 9 teams that run the ball more and get more yards than the Dallas Cowboys, which is kind of funny because all you're told is, well, Dak Prescott, you're paying him just to hand the football off. Really? Are you sure about that? Because that's not how the numbers work out. Because, no, wrong list. Sorry, I get so many lists. I come up with stuff and then I start scratching. But go look it up. Look at NFL teams and how much they rush the football. And you'll be surprised that the Dallas Cowboys were not one of the top ones. And, oh, by the way, yes, Carson Wentz has been cleared. No limitations and all that. But I got something special for him. Just in case. I'm going to hold on to it. But what's amazing about this is we're always told that Carson Wentz, oh, my God, he's such a great passer. Think about the receivers he had in 2017. He had a really good cast of number 1 draft pick wide receivers. And they also had the 3rd best rushing attack in football. So he benefited from having great wide receivers and a great running attack. And I'm not mad at him. But the way it's portrayed is he is just lighting it up because he's such a great quarterback. But he had great targets and a great running game. Now, when we've had a great running game, we've done pretty good too. Well, thank you very much, Dustin. I appreciate that. Dustin, lasagna? Really? I could use some lasagna. Wentz is overrated. Well, and it's funny, going back to Danny Cannell over here, who was talking about paying Dak. I'm just trying to understand this whole thing of why it's always that Dak Prescott needs to get that $26 million deal so they can surround him with talent. You mean Russell Wilson doesn't need any of that? Russell Wilson doesn't need any more talent? Right? He doesn't need some people. How about Big Ben? Big Ben, he just lost Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. He don't need anybody else? Right? He doesn't need anybody? You mean Aaron Rodgers? Those guys, that just gutted the defense. They let Randall Cobb go and everybody else, and they've been purging the roster for a while. You mean they don't need anybody? And I'm trying to figure out, honestly, when you look at our team right now, who would you replace? I know safety will be the one that people will talk about, right? But maybe a cornerback. Maybe a better tight end. But you're not looking at mega bucks for what we're talking about here. We already have 3 all-pro offensive linemen. We got some... How come there's no narrative? Oh, I know. You're right. In DMV, well, actually, what's interesting? I'm actually surprised, DMV, because I'm actually hearing a little bit of people beginning to kind of question. There's a few people that are saying that maybe Dak Prescott deserved to get paid more than Wentz. And I don't know if they're doing that to get clicks or if they're beginning to really believe that, because you have to worry about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is getting injuries like he's an old quarterback. Now, I know he's cleared to practice now, and all the Eagle fans are taking a sigh of relief right now at the moment. But, we're just in helmet and shorts. What's going to happen when we start getting, all of these players after his behind? Larry King, Jason Garrett, incompetent head coach. Well, changing Jason Garrett's not going to have anything to do with whether or not we're going to be able to pay another head coach. Nothing with the salary cap. So as much as I wish that one, the thing about Jason Garrett is when they've got everything, they've been pretty good except in the playoffs. Right now, I'd say that this is the best team that Jason Garrett or most complete team that Jason Garrett has had. So I don't see any excuses. And I look at this and I say, not only complete with players, but I look at the defensive side of the ball, the coaching staff that's over there, and say, not only what happened to Katie? Katie deleted her channels, and she got really back into church. She got bored with YouTube, as far as what she told me. Who knows? She might come back. I don't know. You know, YouTube is not for everybody, unfortunately. She basically shut it down. She deleted all of her stuff and just kind of said, I'm done. Like I said, YouTube is not an easy thing. You got to have a thick skin if you're doing YouTube. If I had $1 for every kind of thing that you kind of get to look like, I could quit my day job, because, you know, there's some assholes out there. I hate to say that. I can't even pronounce that. I'm going to call you Junior. I'm going to call you DD Junior. But exactly, paying him $30 million now puts him basically on the lower end of where it's going to be. Because what's going to happen is we got Phillip Rivers is going to get a new contract. He's going to be a big chunk of change. Jared Goff, of course, is going to be looking for one. Carson Wentz is going to be looking for one. Pat Mahomes is going to be coming down the pipe as well. So you're going to be looking at this market. It's going to continue to do. Do you say anything, Mark? We good? Let's continue to pray that our guys remain. Oh, thank you. You're 100% right, Jackie, Miss Jackie. Health is key, and you've seen a couple people. Reuben Foster this week, boom, third play of practice, stepped on a teammate's foot and, you know, tore his ACL and possibly artery damage. It's like, oh, damn. It's like the Redskins. Oh, Stephanie, thank you for showing up, Stephanie. Glad to see you in here. Deshaun, I'm back at home. Jackson, pay Dak $40 million. That must be an Eagle troll. I'm not ready for $40 million there, buddy. Definitely not there for $40 million.
Somebody will get
Jackie, I loved his interview. Which interview are we talking about, Robbie? Well, Raymond, I agree with you. He deserves his contract. For me personally, I would rather Dak Prescott having just his day job of being an NFL quarterback, and not having to do all of the commercials and things like that, where he's running around doing, you know, yogurt and chips and everything. No, let's go ahead and just pay the man, Stephen Jones. How you doing, Kathy? Great to see you back in here. Just pay, you know, Stephen Jones, pay Dak so that way he can just be a quarterback for us, okay? And do a couple commercials here and there. But right now, he's trying to keep up with the Joneses, and he's got to do all these other damn commercials. Yeah, I would rather him build his brand on the football field, being the best quarterback in the NFL. Concentrate on that 24/7, okay? I mean, come on. Well, Zeke being suspended, keep your fingers crossed. Keep your fingers crossed. You can never say never, because we know the NFL and how it comes with Zeke. Eagles fans go to, oh, come on now. Now, here's, you know, back to Lord Brunson. This is one of those things that really bothers me in the world. And it's not just here on YouTube. It's in life in general. And we have it even with our Cowboys, okay? I'm trying to remember who, I think it was West Coast said this. He said, basically, we've got a wedge. Either you're pay Dak Prescott, he's our guy, you're on this side of the room, or you're Dak Prescott's a bum and we need to replace him, and you're on this side of the room. But we should be able to have a discussion and be able to disagree without being enemies. Immediately, when you have a conversation with somebody, if you don't agree with me, everybody thinks you're supposed to go to blows. And that's wrong. So the conversation I was having, or the debate I was trying to have with Lord Brunson, was, here's a different point of view, why I think it's a good thing. Here's your point of view, why you think it's a bad thing. And it doesn't need to be a fight. We can agree to disagree. I like that, Cleveland Brown. When you saw the TMZ video, you thought the guy slipped on a banana peel. Well, see, in my mind, here's what happened. Because I can honestly say I've been in that doghouse too. And that doghouse is you done something stupid, and your girlfriend or wife is pissed off at you. And when that happens, you get the dazed look where you're following behind. Come on, baby. I'm sorry. She don't mean anything. I didn't mean to say that. You look great. Whatever it was. I don't know what it was. But you could see him with that dazed look following behind her, trying to get, it's like, damn. Here we go. I just stepped in it now. Because there was nothing between her and him. There was no pushing her, holding her, or anything like that. There was nothing there. And so, of course, the security people, everything okay? And he was like, I'm good. But the way he turned around, you don't go from saying I'm good to all of a sudden, you do the whole, head turns 360. I'm trying to remember the movie. Poltergeist? Is that it? I can't remember. Whatever it is. That guy said something. It might have been the Cowboys suck or the Cowboys will never win the Super Bowl or something worse. But Zeke heard that and kind of was like, you got something to say to me? And that's where he kind of did the whole, and of course the guy did the flop. So, was Zeke wrong for going back? Yes, he was wrong. Was Zeke wrong for being out at 3 o'clock in the morning, tore up? Yes, he was wrong. Is this something that you should be suspended for however many games? I don't think so. Exorcist, that's it. Thank you, Steph. See, I'm old. I'm just old. I know it's there. I just can't remember exactly what it was. And a lot of times I'll meet some of you guys, and I'll know who you are, but I can't remember the name. Understand, it's because I'm old. And, maybe I should have been smoking some weed because my brain isn't quite there. I get the migraines and everything else and flashbacks and sometimes sensitivity to bright lights. What is Michael Anthony Fitness watching? Is it funny as hell? What are you watching, Mike? He's got headphones on. Mike, what are you watching? People are asking what you're watching. They can hear you laughing. Dope or Nope? Dope or Nope. I have no idea what Dope or Nope is, but
This is a product review channel
okay, it's a product review.
for young people.
Sir Cowboy, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy.
At least Zink swung on that boy. Okay. Mark is a mummy, so it's all good. Okay. Spark up, Mark. Nah, actually, I'm not going to be sparking up. Reuben Foster needs to get suspended. Well, here's the thing with Reuben Foster. Well, he's out for the season. What the NFL had actually done with Reuben Foster was they didn't suspend him. They said, okay, we're just going to take 2 paychecks. That's it. That's it. We're going to take 2 paychecks. You're okay to play. Is it Tariq Hill? I'm having a brain fart again. But the NFL has said this week that we're not going to get involved in the legal ramifications about the domestic violence or child abuse or anything like that. We're going to let the police handle it. Zeke's on Jim Brown level. I'd have to agree with you on that. Chris Jackson, you're going to spark up. Go ahead, man. Those Super Chat boys. You guys don't like the Super Chat boys? Okay, I'll play with some more. I thought it was kind of cool. Well, thank you very much, Chris Jackson. I appreciate that. Which is how much? I want to say it's about $230,000. I think it is for. His contract's not that big, but still, he can still play.
Junebug is in the house. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Junebug with the sticker even. We got a thumbs up super chat. That's the first one.
okay. Thank you very much. I've been seeing this notification about Super Chat stickers, and I said, I don't know what the hell that is. But you are the first one to use one, so now I see that. Damn. Okay, appreciate that. So only, DMV, that exactly. Zeke was the only one who got suspended, right, with no proof. Okay, because think about Montre Nicholson from the Washington Redskins. If you saw this dude, let me see. Let me pull this. Let me see if I can find it now.
Thanks for joining us. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Dramatic new video this evening showing.
And this is one of those ones that if Tyrone Crawford gets suspended, I'm going to go off.
Lamar! Yeah.
Okay.
Lamar!
Look, just take a good look at this. This is Redskins safety in the red. His girlfriend
There were criminal
was
charges
involved
filed
too.
in
She
this
hit this other
case.
woman over
Nicholson
the
was
head with
booked
a
for
bottle.
assault and battery and drunk in public. His girlfriend, Sydney Maggiore, was charged with malicious
police
wounding
said,
and
nah,
assault and
not
battery.
enough
Last time
evidence
we
to
checked,
charge with
she
anything.
was still under arrest. Sports director Darren Haynes joins me right now.
Okay,
and Darren,
so you saw that, right? You saw that right there, and the NFL has done nothing with him. And he hasn't missed a game. He hasn't been on the commissioner's exempt list or anything. Okay? Anything. So we look at Zeke Elliott with the versus that. You tell me. Playing a bunch of high schoolers getting in a fight. Bob Money. Okay. Ooh.
PL Stafford, thank you very much for the super chat.
You think this year Dak will become the new Brady? Oh, I tell you what, if you take Dak and put him in New England, he sure will because he's got great coaching. Oh, I missed a super chat.
I missed a super chat from Sir Cowboy. I'm very, very sorry for missing that.
The NFL didn't see the fight. They were busy watching the Cowboys. Steven, you get the comment of the night. I love that. You're right. You are 100% right. I don't understand that face right there, but okay. Whoa!
L4G Custom Fabrication. Thank you very much for that super chat. And definitely check out his website if you got one and get some custom fabrication done. Damn!
Damn! Thank you very much, man. I'm feeling the love tonight. Damn! Whoo-hoo! I may have to go ahead and go for a few minutes in bonus time, man, after all that. I appreciate that, man. You guys are incredible. I haven't seen my man Joseph Hartley in here, Heatherly, tonight, and I haven't seen him that much this week. I need to check on him and make sure that his wife's okay. She kind of gets sick and things like that, and when I don't see him, I start to worry and stuff about him. But Stephanie, Miss Jackie, Incognito, all of you great moderators. Mike Mosh is in there, who's got another channel, his own channel too. The Demon Voice. Actually, I thought that was more of the alien one because I turned it when I did it the other way. It sounds more like the, from hell. Michael Gallup is the next Alvin Harper. I'm going to say he's going to be better than the next Alvin Harper because Alvin Harper really had about 2 really good years from the Cowboys. After that, he stole money from Tampa Bay and the Washington Redskins. So, let's hope that he's going to be better for a longer period of time. I'm excited about this offense. I'll be honest with you. I was being honest about this because when they keep saying that, surround Dak Prescott with some pieces. I'm sorry. How many Pro Bowlers do we have on the roster right now? How many people, and I know Sean Lee has been injured, but Sean Lee basically is going to be a guy you can bring off the bench. You got Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch, 2 of the best linebackers in football. I'll take that. I'll argue that one. You've got who should be in the top 5 pass rusher in DeMarcus Lawrence. You've got Quinn, who's going to have a great season having DeMarcus Lawrence along with the rest of the defensive line. You've got a great rotation of young tackles that are in there. So you're going to have a hell of a defensive front eight. You can look at Woods, and I'd say Woods is a pretty good corner. Excuse me, defense safety. I'll hold judgment on Jeff Heath and Iloka. We'll see on that one. Byron Jones, if he's healthy, is one of the best ones in football. And I'll take those other guys under year number 2 with Chris Richard. That's a pretty decent defense. There's not a whole lot of places that you would say, yeah, let's go spend a whole bunch of money and upgrade. I don't see any place on there that you would go out, spend a boatload of money that you would save from Dak Prescott to do that. Same thing on the offense.
Senior Cowboy, damn! I'll join fabrication, and Mark, don't miss his super chat, laugh out loud. How can I get how about them Cowboys?
Damn. Thank you. Oh, how about Senior Cowboys? Damn. I appreciate that. One of the things you guys know I'm doing is I'm working on trying to make this program, the studio, and everything else set and better. So every time I get money from YouTube, I go out and I buy something new to try and make this a little better. Hopefully tonight, everything was actually running a lot better than usual. I don't think I had too many hiccups. Other than when I first started, I didn't realize I was on when I was a racist and stuff. But I think, can we get a Darth Vader voice? I don't know how to do that one.
Perry Williams, thank you very much for the super chat. You guys are killing me tonight.
Hopefully we're beginning to get this stuff together. Actually, I'm able to set it up quicker now and to go on here, and I'm actually learning it. I tell you what we'll do. Check this out. This gives you an idea what this actually is. I've actually made this whole thing up here so that way I can see everything. So if I want to, I can go ahead and tell Charles Haley. I can go ahead and run Charles Haley. So I can go through and run all this stuff up here. So now I can actually keep my face focused right up on all that stuff up there. Oh, dear.
L4G Custom Fabrication Donation Train. Choo choo. Woo woo. Thank you very much.
Damn. Wow. LG Fabrication. Damn. You guys you're killing me. You're killing me with kindness. I appreciate it. Oh my God. So I've been working on this whole thing of being able to use different camera angles and stuff like that because, well, I don't have a good side, so I'm trying to at least give you a couple of different ones. Maybe one will look better than the other, but it's actually getting to come together. I've been talking. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Now, you guys probably think I'm crazy too, but YouTube and Facebook and things are great platforms. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that I can come in here on YouTube. I can reach all of you guys and everything else. They can put advertisement on here.
Senior Cowboy, thank you very much, man. You guys are just going back and forth with this. You're killing me with kindness. Thank you.
But the problem is, my other channel with 28,000 subscribers, it's been over 2 months. I don't think it's ever coming back. For all I know, I could wake up tomorrow and this channel could be gone. Law Nation, his channel was demonetized. He's basically banned on Facebook. You saw Dallas Cowboys Facebook fan page with over 237,000 likes on it. It's gone. The people that run it, they're just sick. So it worries me because I think what's happening is because of people like me, Law, and all these other Cowboys YouTube channels that we're actually competition with some of the big guys, and they're seeing this, and as they get a little bit bigger, they kind of knock us back down to earth. So what I'm trying to figure out is a way that we can get all of this stuff.
Eric Barnes, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. You guys, thank you.
So what I'm trying to figure out is a way that we can kind of come together to make our own network. So that way we have actually like regular programming, so Monday nights, Friday nights, you got Joe Booth Sports Report. Maybe we end up having, live streams where it's kind of like debate shows and stuff. So we're able to kind of do that kind of stuff on Wednesday nights or whatever. And to get all these different voices, it's actually kind of cool with me and like with West Coast and Boss Cowboys because we got difference of opinions. I'm kind of older. I've seen a lot of things and all that. And I've got one way that I look and view things. And it's another thing to hear somebody else's opinion. And it's good to have people who disagree and make your own decision.
Kevin Henderson, thank you very much. Whoa. We're going to get that new TV monitor next month. I can see that now. To go up here. So it'll be nice and clear. Thank you very much.
Tony Pollard is Brian Mitchell. No, I know Brian Mitchell. He ain't no Brian Mitchell. Okay. Brian Mitchell is actually a cool dude. Brian Mitchell will have you rolling. That dude is funny as hell. E2 Blue, call you when you're done. Hey, everybody, go over and check out E2 Blue's channel. E2 Blue got his hair cut.
Just say, oh yeah, he did. He said he was gonna
Have you seen it? Oh my goodness. I saw it last night. I was laying in bed. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, Tracy. Tracy goes, oh my God, what happened?
He doesn't look like his frat brother?
Like his frat brother. He doesn't look like Kevin anymore. He looks totally, it looks good. It's just, I'm not used to it though. I've always seen you it was just a shock. And I didn't realize it was coming. So everybody go over, check out E2 Blue, like his channel, subscribe to it and everything else, and check out his haircut. E2's in the house. Miss Jackie, I thought you said Law was going to call in. He didn't call in. He must be taking care of the baby because she's listening to nothing but the best. Michael Anthony is Dak. They look a little like.
I wish I was.
My Mike's like, hey, I wish I was about to get that $30 million a year.
The Peanuts is making that.
Right. He's like, I'll take this year's salary. Okay, I'm good with that. D. Will, that's a good one. Well, that's, and again, see, this is the thing that's going to be interesting. And I'm sorry I got off track talking about it. But that's my whole dream is to come up with a way that we don't have to worry about being shut down by YouTube or Facebook and all that. Because I feel like when you watch ESPN, they've got a narrative and they have so much to cover that you don't really get the nuts and bolts and stuff like, you get from us.
P.L. Safford, thank you very much. Loonies, I got 5 on it. Oh, man. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to sing.
But there's so much good content and things that if we can kind of put it together, kind of clean it up a little bit and things like that, and being able to have the interactions like we do on here, I think it's really the next step in sports coverage. It's catered to what you're looking for. And with having Cowboys experience, I'm working on trying to actually being able to start doing interviews with players, work on being on the sidelines, and being able to use what I have here. I'm going to need some of you guys come game Sundays, if you're actually at the game and stuff, with the system that I'm building right now. You can be a reporter, so you can be at halftime at the game, and if you got your cell phone with a signal, you can call in. We can live stream you directly from a tailgate, autograph signing, or whatever, and be part of it, and we can bring it out to the masses and stuff. And that's kind of my dream that I've been working on for about the last year, and I'm hoping that by the time the season gets here that we can really have this thing rocking and rolling and really just kind of blow everybody else away. So I've shared my dream, at least with you guys, and hopefully it'll be coming around. Cedric, and that's the thing we've got, Incognito. When I look at this team with all of the talent that we have so many guys that it's going to be hard to say goodbye to. And there's going to be some veterans that we're going to be surprised that are cut. I'm telling you, guys I think that are on the bubble are going to be Tyrone Crawford. I know that sounds crazy because Tyrone Crawford has been a team captain. He has been doing a lot of the dirty work and stuff. But when you start looking at these younger guys that we have in here and you look at the cap number, you start saying, okay, maybe we can do without him. Because we've got a lot of people that are there right now. Having Connor Williams playing tackles. Lyle Collins maybe should be getting a little bit worried right now because they may look at that and say, okay, Lyle Collins, you can save $8.5 million. Are we going to take that big a step back if we put Connor Williams there and play Joe Looney at guard until Connor McGovern's ready? Because now all of a sudden, you $8.5 million, you know, that's a good portion of money, you know, that can go to extending Zeke Elliott or Dak Prescott or Amari Cooper's money. And I hate to say this one because when I say people give up stuff for the team, Alan Hearns gave up his leg to hold on to our first down. And that's one of those guys that you almost want to make just because of that play alone. That showed me the character and the will that, I'm sorry, I'd screamed like a bitch. Ah! The ball would have been flying. Okay, I'm sorry. There is no way in the world that I could have held onto the football after my leg went like that. Has anybody had my wings? E2 Blues had them. Michael Anthony's had them. So those three guys right there may be on the bubble. Malik Collins might be on the bubble too because of Christian Covington. Now you got Tristan Hill. You've got, like I said, you've got a lot of competition. And we got a lot of defensive linemen. We got a lot of wide receivers. We got a lot of offensive linemen. And we can't keep them all. You can put some of them on practice squad, but there's going to be some guys that you kind of have to say, eh. So when people say, oh, they need to, shortchange Dak Prescott so they can bring in other people, who are we getting rid of to bring somebody else in? We signed Robert Quinn. We signed Randall Cobb. Who are we bringing in? I just don't. The arguments that you hear on not paying Dak just don't ever hold water. Because I look at this team, and I say this team is more complete than Steelers. I say it's more complete than Seattle. I say it's more complete than a lot of teams that have to pay the quarterback. It's certainly more complete than Green Bay. And all these teams that have paid these other, I'd never heard them say Russell Wilson need to take a team-friendly contract. Only Dak. Chris Jackson, well, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing several tailgates. The Redskin one, definitely. Okay, here's Blake Adams. Here's what you can understand about that tailgate. We're going to be there, okay? There is no, don't worry about it. We will be there. I won't get tickets till probably for the parking lot to know exactly where it's going to be till a few weeks before it, but we will be there. We're going to be doing it with Cowboys Experience. We're working on trying to see if we can actually get a player, a retired player, actually at our tailgates. We're going to have TVs out there so that way, even if you just want to go to the tailgate and not go into that toxic waste dump, because I can't blame you, because that stadium is one of the worst ones in the NFL. You actually have a better seat sitting out there in front of the TV screen, eating some wings and everything else, than spending $10 for a beer that you have to worry about paint chips falling in. Yes, we're going to definitely be tailgating at the Redskins game. We're also going to be at the Giants game, the season opener in Dallas too. I've already decided I'm going to that one. I just got to go to that one. And we'll definitely be going to the last game of the season, the Redskins. I'm trying to figure out what other games we might try and go to. Well, we'll figure that out as the season goes on. We'll probably go to like 4 or 5 games this year. Well, it is actually, you got a little bit of overtime, and I'm going to get ready to get up out of here. And I appreciate all the support from everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. And everybody, if you're traveling, please be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. It's not worth it. And remember what this vacation is for. It's not just the beginning of summer. It's to remember all of those who have served, fought for us, and given the ultimate sacrifice, the people that aren't here. So make sure, if you see a veteran out there or you know somebody in the military, that you say thank you. And from the bottom of my heart, for everybody who's in the military that's watching this show right now, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you guys do to keep us safe and to take care of our country. And with that being said, it's time to turn off the lights because this party's over. Thank you again, everybody, for the super chats. I appreciate them. And you will see some more changes to the channel because of your support. I'll see you guys soon. Oh, wrong one. Let's try that again.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.